character, I guess. Go ahead.
So yeah, so Destiny's doing prep with Rob Knorr and these other people.
General feeling and outline. Where I'm at right now. Okay?
He's doing live prep.
Yep.
Debate prep.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say that January 6th
was
an
to
attempted
Destiny
insurrection
and 2X.
by Donald J.
See what
Trump.
that
Yeah,
says.
please.
That's where I'm at.
Oh
right now.
man, yeah. Here we go.
What do you want to start? How do you feel about that?
I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay,
I think.
all right. Well,
yeah. Well, it might literally be a 10-minute agreement session, and then we'll dip. So my issue is the word Republican has the root word Republic, right? And with Republics, you're supposed to have rules and norms and process and the rule of law and all that kind of shit. And I don't think Donald Trump cares about any of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yep. And so I think that Peter Strzok and the wine moms were ultimately proven correct in the fact that Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about the Constitution. He doesn't care about how institutions are supposed to function. He doesn't care about the logistics issues involved in how they function. And as a result, they viewed him as a danger to the Republic. And I think they were correct in that assessment.
Do you know if Rob Knorr would fight against this point, or do you know any conservatives would fight against this point?
All of that was
so what I've seen relatively consistently is that they would do a whataboutism where, well, not just that, but they would say that
I'm trying
that's way too fast. Way too fast.
I don't know if I can take any of that.
I know it's the holidays and we're going for like the chipmunk voices.
Yeah,
that was
it wasn't even good arguments. Like
use this Eastman legal theory that Pence could unilaterally toss certain types of electors in certain states to.
Well, anyway, that's.
Yeah, we're not watching Destiny.
I don't really give a shit about that.
Yeah,
Curb Stomp Destiny is my assessment. That's all I need to know.
Anyway, so I just wanted to bring that up in case Truther Cop didn't since he's the forefront of
Truther Cop exposed Flow State for being part of Proud Boys. Apparently, that's all the rage.
There was a short. Did you make a short on that or no?
It's all the rage in the low tier panel verse.
Yeah,
Truther Cop, you're gonna say something?
To be clear, I'm trying, sir. If I can break through this fucking signal here.
There we go.
This Flow State, he did come on. He said he was a Proud Boy several times, and I addressed that fact.
Cringe and gay. Go ahead.
Isn't Flow State also the one that was exposing Montegraph or claiming that Montegraph is
he's Montegraph's buddy.
Yeah, he's a
different person.
Yeah, you're thinking of
Snafu.
Boy, Snafu.
Oh, right. Snafu. My bad. Flow State, though, he's been around a bit, isn't he? Involved in some drama. I don't know.
What were you saying, Truther Cop?
Well, I was going to say, Truther exposed something other than himself. Now that's
don't
news.
read the comments. Just say what you were going to say.
Tyson Hook is like allegedly they're doing what they do, but Flow State, no, he openly admitted several times he was a Proud Boy, and I finally pressed him about it last night, and he was very open about it.
So what was it? The absolve
he never went to January 6th.
These people are. I mean, if the fiction is, if the official fiction has been
he's facing charges over it. Is that correct?
No,
who is facing charges that was just on your show? You were saying
Eric Clark.
Let's dox him live. Cool. I'm just kidding.
No, he's totally been open.
I get it. It's
way too he's been so open about his case. I can't help but talk about it. So it is what it is. Everything he's met Ray Epps. He was there with Ray Epps on the scene that day. He saw it from the bottom up, and he's calling it out in the only way he can, and he expects to face prison time. He's the realest motherfucker there is that I've ever seen present the case. So I just really appreciate him for being very forward with that. And he's going against the government himself as a pro se person.
There are a lot of legitimate people that went there under, the belief that this was a moment of actually at least showing in mass, like we disagree with shit, right?
It's a gay fucking psyop, and nobody should give a fuck about it. Like, who gives
But
a
at
shit?
the same time, there still is a problem with our
Gay.
country. There still is a
and we
very
have
big problem with our
hosting.
country.
All tied to supposed
Fake
federal
and gay all the time.
con men, frauds, dupes, detractors,
Lazy
surprised me at this
losers
point.
that do
I
nothing.
told you, this is why they say that I'm a.
These people aren't doing shit. These two people aren't doing fucking shit all.
No,
as far
well,
as,
this
like,
is
changing the
interesting
world.
because Mr. Snafu was a MAGA guy.
No, Rezon, we're not.
It was an interesting.
I want to know more about the Snafu guy because I can't figure his.
Well, Snafu is who he is. He's just,
Is he just a troll that's just schizophrenic?
I'm not even speaking. I don't really care to.
I may be.
I mean,
My
what else are
paranoia
we
has set
fucking
me
doing?
right where I need to be, if you want to call it.
Snafu syphilis
Why
is in the
it all
chat.
these people always wind
That's
up in the
pineal
same groups, in the
power.
same places, tied to the same organizations, with the same intent for me, by the way, to hang around me.
Is it Snafu or is that his soccer account?
To get in.
It's always about daddy.
Yeah, it's exactly.
It's always
just
about daddy.
It's
no
so
matter
fucking
what it is,
stale.
If everybody could just rally around him, then everything would be good. Then we'd have a head.
This nigga's a straight up stale fucking cracker. He's like the stale cracker Ouroboros. You know what I mean? Like his body is made up of a stale cracker. He sustains himself every single day. It's the same shit, dude.
It's always about him. Always
They're like,
about him.
nobody fucking cares, dude. You just want the donos. We get it, man. We get it.
Information from me, to speak to me privately, even, right? To undo
With his
me,
daddy
my
issues.
resentment, to cast doubt upon what I'm putting forth, to say I'm lying and that I bought my
Can
way
we actually
everywhere, and that I'm
discuss his daddy and the conspiracy around his daddy? And
I think EBT.
I haven't heard that.
We have,
so
and it's never been addressed.
Yeah.
Nobody
it
will
never
ever
has properly been addressed, has it?
We tried, and they're not gonna. They're never gonna go into it. But
What's this story about Snafu blowing up in some hash oil thing? Because Jonathan just reposted that in the chat.
yeah, that's why he went to jail. He was making hash oil, I guess, in a Motel 6, I think it was, and then
Yeah,
like,
and he used a
kind of
bunch
based.
of butane oil.
That's kind of based.
Yeah, right. So he blew his fucking eyebrows off, basically.
And he burned the hotel too, so he got charged.
Hell yeah, it's even more based.
He got
Burn the
charged with
hotel down
arson.
too. Nobody fucking tonight. If I'm burned, y'all, this whole place going down. Snafu took him. And that's what he does to panels too. He takes them all down too. It reminds him of that event.
That's
that once
true.
happened.
He's living his life's purpose.
It's like his first love, but on the other side of the spectrum, like trauma. You know what I mean? So let's relive the trauma, like the first love. But I'm gonna do it on y'all instead of me.
That's fucking hilarious.
Shout
I love
out to Snafu too. I have no problem with Snafu. It's like whatever.
No, Snafu's dude. Every time I cover something, he takes it. He goes straight to Paul and he gets a message out. Anytime
I don't have any problem with Snafu. He's cool with me.
Yeah, I'm not like whatever. What's he say? That's so bad.
So what he calls Tommy?
He doesn't say being
a pedo, right?
He doesn't say I'd rather give a child that needs to be adopted to gay parents instead of religious people. He doesn't say shit like that.
Yeah.
Like some people I know, head motherfucker in charge.
Oof.
Head motherfucker in charge, Steve or whatever.
That sounds like a really retarded take.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised who else has that one.
Who else has that take? I would love to know.
There's lots of don't ask, don't tell people when it comes to adoption and shit.
Shameful.
It's funny.
It's really shameful.
Very shameful. They
That's
should all be shamed.
That's how abuse happens. That's disgusting.
Yes, exactly. You're better off aborting your children.
I like how
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, no, we just need to have
okay.
a massive
we're not gonna.
deconstruction.
I like your zealousness.
societal-
I like it, but
And send her some new
redirect it.
pants.
All right.
So,
Let's get some order here.
You
people.
went with the Cowboys to DC in December.
Yeah.
Is there footage of that, or do you know?
If there is, I'm not giving it to you.
That's fine. I was just wondering.
There's
There might be.
I'm sure there was, because the Antifa crew, there's a lot of motherfuckers who were running around pretending to be Proud Boys and then taking pictures. Did
the Proud Boys not have that tactic at the time to pretend to be Antifa? Because that's certainly something they adopted months later. Even during January 6th, they were making those claims. Joe Biggs was.
Not that I'm aware of, but I just really, if it was happening outside of my chapter, I didn't really know about it. And we're in Kansas City, so there wasn't a lot of opposition here.
Yeah.
Yo, the lady needs to stay away from the camera, yo. She's scaring me.
He needs to stay. Can we be honest?
That lady fucking scares me, bro.
I gotta go pee. You guys hold it down.
Whatever.
You're let this play. You're gonna talk amongst yourselves.
Well, we can talk amongst ourselves. I don't want to listen to these fucking retards.
Good. Yeah, I don't want to either.
Roger Dodger 10-4 holding it down.
What's up, Bernie? What's going on in your man cave?
I got Mama gave me a nice new I don't know what the hell it is, but it keeps me warm up in Canada. So it's
Mama knows how to take care. Mama knows how to take care of you, bro. Wants you warm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, are you warm, bro?
I am very warm. I'm warm enough to be able to step outside for a cigarette and not freeze my balls off. It's
BurnEye.
amazing.
Is it that cold up there?
Oh yeah, Canada's ridiculous.
What is the who was that guy who came on with the energy weapons from Antarctica again? The whistleblower?
Eric Hecker.
That was a fire stream, dude.
Yes, I got to get him and Dutch Sense together again, because it's like Dutch Sense with his earthquake forecasting monitoring. He actually captured screen images of these satellite feeds of these energy pulses from Antarctica when he was like monitoring, looking into the Christchurch earthquakes. And then when I first introduced him and Eric Hecker together, and Eric Hecker was telling his story of working down there during the Christchurch earthquakes, and someone coming out like just in distress, being like, "Oh my God, we just freaking destroyed a city in New Zealand, and it's all our fault." And like, that apparently it was a man-made disaster.
Fascinating. My take on most earthquakes is that they're man-made. Is that your take as well, Bernie?
It seems, especially the ones that, like the really big ones, and the ones that are affecting specific areas of war zones, or opposing governments and stuff like that. Those seem to be, and then the rest. It seems it's tied into these cycles of energy cycles that Dutch Sense has deciphered and been monitoring and showing and being able to forecast earthquakes now for over 12 or 15 years. He's been doing it, where he gets like a 80 to 90% accuracy each week. And then it's like he's able to find where the energy went in the ones that he was wrong, and then like add that into his calculations for the next week. And it's just fascinating stuff.
Okay, so it's he's willing to throw in his like anomalous readings the same way that like the missing 411 people try and do justice for like the things that they try and do, right?
Yeah, so it's like, for instance, the Christchurch one, it was like, hey, this doesn't fit into my like forecasting at all. Where did this major energy come from? And that's what got him to investigate into it and look back into the different satellite feeds of the energies coming in, and sure enough find these waves from Antarctica that most likely were from this mass neutrino detector.
What were those? What were they called again? Like the waves that were coming out, were they like electromagnetic, or what type of waves? I missed that.
They might be scalar waves. I would have to ask Jeremiah for those specifics.
Okay.
He would be the one that
were they like equivalent to rogue waves on water, or were they semi-predictable waves that were coming
it
in?
was like I believe it was like an energy wave that was like rippling through both like the clouds and ocean, but I'm not sure. It's supposed to be addressed in the next episode together. So
all right, well, I'll
that
check it out.
information will come out.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Then
Sucks. The government, I guess, has been really messing with Dutch Sense to the point that he's almost had to give up on streaming completely lately, where they just keep shutting down his internet, and he's gone through like 10 different types of internet services. And lately, over the Christmas, he was having to play old Christmas music that wasn't copyrighted, and then like halfway through that he would start giving his like forecasts, and then he'd get shut off immediately again. It's ridiculous how much they're trying
and
to
that's
censor.
an interesting topic that I think is, especially between all of us, worth exploring. Like, what is being actually shadow banned, and what is people trying to inflate their ego, I guess. Like, what are the different things that we should look out for, or how can we even...
Why does Archaic show up in everybody's feed, yet our channels don't?
Right. It's because like he does it. Especially with his
Hold on a second.
Video that he
hold on a second. Y'all, are you seeing this person Aaron Corbett's comments in the chat? Apparently, there's like a few people that don't see his comments.
Shout out Aaron, and that's because we're multi-streaming. Aaron's on my channel.
He's coming from the other stream.
Okay. Oh, I forget. Bernie does this whole thing.
So,
I forget.
When I first heard of Dutch Sense, he was covering the Canadian fires that were traveling down and spreading smoke into New York, and he exposed them as a sort of an event that was tied, like you could see the fire spark. He had the satellite footage of that event. I mean, that was earlier this year, and I feel like it's already foreign to all of us.
Yeah, he covered a lot of good stuff, and they really don't like that.
Yeah, the way he broke it down, it was common sense.
Wait, what's the guy? I can't remember his name. Who are we talking about?
Dutch Sense?
Dutch Sense, yeah, okay. Yeah,
I'm not
sure. He was showing us all the fires broke out along the Canton edge of these seismic areas, so that he was speculating that it could be something else related that's triggering it, and that how they all sparked all at once.
And he had the footage where he showed they were all sparking at once from the satellite. Across a line.
That's also kind of just the way that satellite works, though, because if the way that they say it works is that, like, when you watch the loops, because it goes dark for a while, and then the satellite comes up, and then it makes it look like things are happening all at once. But I don't know exactly. I wouldn't be able to prove that.
I see what you're saying with that, and possibly some, but it was like, I don't know. We'll have to rewatch the footage and go over that. But I know what you're saying, and we should.
I think that could have been an easy mistake to make. Like, I'm not saying that he's wrong or making a conclusion, but I watched those satellite loops, and you get that latency period where this whatever it is.
Yeah, well, it was like that they all like started popping up one after another. They didn't all pop up at once, though. It was like
And is the latency days or hours, EBT, that you're referring to? Days or hours?
Be like half of I believe it's like, it would be like half a day, I believe. I'm not, It depends on the orbit of the whatever they claim.
Hold on, EBT. Did you just use the words orbit of satellites?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to dance around the topic, but I mean, like, I've watched these things for years myself. Like, there's that period of time within the stream where it goes dark and there's no information from whatever the instrument is that is, who knows if it's a balloon or a plane or if it's just all made up.
Whatever the heck is up there, it's up there. That's
whatever sensors are providing this data. There's a moment in time where it goes dark, and then the loop comes back, and then and then you see the things after the loop.
Right.
So
what is this Dune experiment that you have up there?
So this somebody brought up in the chat earlier, somebody that's probably followed for a little bit, Mr. Stevie J here. The Dune experiment is an ongoing. It's actually the biggest particle experiment going on in the world right now, between Fermilab and a location up north in Dakota, where they're shooting neutrinos. So in Fermilab, which is the second largest particle accelerator in the world, located here in Chicagoland area, they've dug deep underground, and then that's what it's called, the Deep Underground Neutrino Experiment, Dune. So they've done this,
if you will.
They've
so
dug
there's
this
a dumb Dune, but just to pause before you continue, EBT, are you worried that they might open up a portal and Cthulhu itself is going to come out of Chicago's depths?
Well, I could show my old like I have many theories. Part of it when they brought the Icarus. So at one point in time, they brought what was called the Icarus project from CERN. They shipped it overseas, and they brought the project to Fermilab. And if you know the mythology of Icarus, being he escaped from the labyrinth with the wax wings and all this kind of stuff. So
why would they even name something like that?
Well, okay, here's where it gets weird. Is that when they brought the Icarus project from CERN to Fermilab in Chicago, there all of a sudden was this major influx of Mothman sightings in Chicago after they brought the Icarus project from
33,
CERN
you saw
to
that?
Fermilab.
33.
So you had the winged man all of a sudden becomes being seen all over Chicago area after they brought a project named after a winged man. I mean,
the predominant lore of that
you can't
area
make that
is
shit
the
up.
Mothman's.
And they brought it in these weird shipping containers too. I'm not going to try to pull up the pictures right. Yeah, hold up. I'll pull it up actually. I'll do the.
It's worth pulling up for sure. Worth pulling up.
So the Icarus project.
Because it's fascinating because it's basically melding lore from other areas into a new Western idea and creating this new in the same way back in the constitutional era, they were remaking all these different things and remaking ideas. That's why America is so bizarre with all these different experiments.
Well, and so here's why it was so weird is they brought it over in these like super these strange like shipping containers. Like I likened it to when it was happening, I likened it to like Jurassic Park.
Right. Insulated, just defended.
Yeah. And it even had a hashtag. It was called #IcarusTrip. Is when they shipped these devices from CERN to Fermilab.
Legit Mothman possibly in there.
Mothman sightings, and it directly correlates. When they brought the Icarus project to Chicago, the Mothman sightings like went off the charts. It was a whole thing. It was pretty interesting. And then even if you just look at you look at the pictures of what they say that it is, it's like I mean, they're bringing this one's crazy here, right? It's this random box random box. They
Yeah, went out
shipped
to Benton later that day.
right. And they closed down all the roads and everything. You know, and one of the craziest ones was the Muon 2 detector that they shipped here from CERN. And I remember during the time they had to they rebuilt all the roads and everything leading up to the lab. Hold on, let me show you this because this is really crazy. Because there's a giant thing that they shipped over here, which is I can't find it right now. Hold on, no, I'm in the wrong thing. Yeah. So anyway, a lot of people talk about CERN. A lot of people forget about that the main lab is actually here in Chicago area. Fermilab, that's where it kind of really is the headquarters for all the stuff. They work hand in hand. Between the two, they invented the internet and the web and all that kind of stuff. And Fermilab is the headquarters for the supercomputer network and all this kind of shit. And the artwork.
No wonder Benton was there. He was picking up the shipment. He was starting the internet, and now we're here.
Oh, we do know that.
Yeah, he does say that. You know,
Benton
he was there.
time travels in a hot tub time machine
started the internet.
The metaverse.
Oh, Muon G2. I was putting it in wrong. It's fucked up how shitty the internet is these days. Like it used to be that it would just, this is why I'm not worried about fucking AI because.
I remember that company. Was it Lucent Technologies? I don't see that name around anymore.
Lucent Technologies got bought out.
Right. Yeah.
And currently, the company that owns Lucent Technologies is who's the one that makes the old school brick phone? Nokia.
Yeah.
So currently Nokia owns Lucent Laboratories. So here in Chicago, here in the Chicagoland area, so Lucent got bought out by a company called Alcatel because they had to change the name because everybody was calling them out for having the name Lucent Technologies and everything. So they got bought out mainly to change the name, and they changed it to Alcatel, and then that got bought out by Nokia. And so people might think that Nokia is nothing really anymore, but they're like the pioneers behind most of the actual 5G infrastructure is Nokia.
Which means it's all going to be indestructible because all those old phones, they're just being rebuilt into the 5G towers. So nothing's going to be able to knock them down. If anybody has had one of those old brick phones, they're being refurbished.
Especially were known to be killer.
So I'll show you here the two biggest Lucent laboratories locations were located. So here's Fermilab.
Oh yeah, of course with the circles.
Yeah, look at that big old circles.
So that's Fermilab. It's got the 666. You can see right there.
Course,
the 666, of course. And it's like so blatant right there. But yeah, so the two biggest Lucent laboratories were located right down the street, and it's actually interesting because right now they actually destroyed. They took one of them down. And I don't know if we're going to be able to see. So here, see. You'll see there Nokia, formerly Alcatel, Lucent, Bell Laboratories. So it went from being Bell Laboratories to Lucent Technologies to Alcatel, and then to Nokia.
And how long did Quantum of Conscious work there?
Yeah.
We've not released those files yet. So this was Lab 1. Okay, this is Lab 1.
Quantum of Conscious worked there.
Look, wait. Actually, go back. Go back.
This was the other Lucent Technology lab.
Go back to the other one, just for a quick second. Go back to the first one you just showed. Can you just turn it? Oh, actually, if you go back, zoom out a little bit. Is that like a Pope? Zoom out a little bit more. Does that look like a little Pope hat to you?
That's not only a Pope hat, that's flow state in his Pope hat. Every
Yeah,
night on
no.
the stream.
Is flow
So
state
so
Pope
so
hat
let me show you
in
what
Chicago.
is directly across from
Illuminati confirmed.
directly across from this is Lucent Laboratories #1.
Right.
Right across the street is what's called the Science of Spirituality Meditation Center.
Okay, makes sense.
I've never heard of this place.
They built this entire infrastructure right here. Let me
That
zoom
is
out
the
again.
Science of Meditation Center.
Yes, it's a total NW New World Order, like Oprah type shit. Here we'll go.
I wonder when I'd imagine they built it at the same time.
No. It was here for a long time. They just recently built this new. So here it is, the Science of Spirituality.
Interesting.
So they built this right, like it was like 2018, 2019. It was right before the pandemic that they finished this place. And it's been, when the pandemic hit, they canceled everything at this place, and it's been dead for like 3 years. Like almost nobody ever goes there anymore. And it's like, it's so strange. Like it's obviously connected to all these other laboratories, because so what I was getting at is that
it
both
sounds
these
like it needs to be the new EBT broadcasting booth place.
Yeah, I know, right? So both of these
It looks like a mockery of the Pope right there. Yeah.
Well, it looks to me it's definitely some kind of huge sigil.
It looks like
the Pope is a mockery of himself. Am I wrong?
Okay, let's not go there.
I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I see what you're saying. So anyway, so they just tore down this building right here, this one, and then the big lab behind it. So and these all have underground connections. So this was lab 1, this was lab 2. Which look at the parking, look at the amount of parking here, and then so these are also parking garage buildings like back here.
Is that a football or a baseball stadium? What is that?
No, this is a science laboratory.
Second Lucent. Are you paying attention, Truther Cop? Pay attention.
This is Lucent Lab. This is Lucent Lab #2 in Naperville, next to Fermilab. So this was the main building. It's now owned by Navistar. They sold it. They sold it out to Navistar. This was a parking garage. This is a parking garage. If you go down the street, you have the nuclear commission, like the actual guys that run like all the nuclear shit, like all the power plants and stuff. They're the regulatory body. But you have this insane amount of parking for this one building, and that reason is because like all the infrastructure is underground, and all this lab all connects through the wildlife preserves, and then you go straight over to Fermilab, and there's actually what's called Fermilab Village. So a lot of the scientists, they all live like at the actual facility or whatever.
It's like Disney. It's like Disneyland or whatever.
Right.
The employees live there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also weird because the Theosophical Society is also located right next to the lab.
Of course.
Let me show you that. So the Theosophical Society in America, the headquarters, right here by the lab.
Theo soft serve niggas over here.
Here we go. And then we go here often, but here we go. Here's the entrance to the Theosophical Society. So that's the library in there. They have all. I've showed pictures inside of the library.
We have the Theosophical Society next to the Science of Spirit, next to Fermilabs, next to where they're summoning demons potentially.
Yes, yeah. So there's a Theosophical Society right there, right down the street
I think
from
that
the lab.
could be the biggest disclosure of the year. Like that's absolutely nuts.
Well, and it gets even crazier because Fermilab, okay, it's located in Batavia, and it's also one of the bordering cities is Geneva, where CERN, CERN also happens to be in Geneva,
The
Switzerland.
Metaphysical Geneva Convention.
Okay,
and I would have to say that Biden is
So do they just portal to CERN and
certainly
back?
not my president. Is all I had to say. That I'm
the
sorry.
roads that bordered the lab are Fabian.
Let's hey ho ho. Brandon's got to go.
So the two roads that you use to get near the lab are Fabian and Farnsworth. If you know, Farnsworth is the guy that's credited with inventing the television set.
Yeah, I've
Right.
seen Futurama.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's why Farnsworth in Futurama. That makes sense
Yes.
now.
Yes. That's why he's Filio Farnsworth. That's what he's named.
Yes.
He's named after the guy that's credited with inventing the television set. Who was just a normal. It's one of those. It's the same. It's one of those things. It's the guy in the garage or whatever. He's some dumb farm boy, but then he.
Hey, EBT, in the chat, I dropped a funny location to check out.
Okay. Yeah. So here's the entrance to the lab. The west entrance. This statue in the middle is called Cemetery Opposed. When you drive on the other side of the statue, it's totally different from the way that you look at it from the other side, which kind of is a deep dive into the kind of the philosophy of the laboratory. They feel like they are somehow trying to disrupt the symmetry of existence. Is kind of their philosophy behind it. So. They're trying to create like a schism within what we know as reality, essentially, in order to understand what reality is.
The whole area, correct me if I'm wrong, but is meant to invoke that kind of feeling, right?
When you drive through it, it's just like another forest preserve in the area. Like
have you been to the that what was it? It's not called the 100-acre woods, but it's I forget, it's the something close to that. It's near the Indianapolis their main cemetery.
Crown Hill is the main cemetery.
Yeah. On the other side of that main freeway, they have that big forest, and it reminds me of that their whole setup with all these different like esoteric ideas.
Right.
Tyson Hook's calling me out in the chat here. I'm concerned with your mental health just as much as I am Biden as a president.
That's a pretty obvious sign there. Can we deconstruct that?
I've been trying to figure out.
Hey ho ho! Insane Brandon's got to go.
Right there is actually where Jesus dropped in to save us from our sins.
At that very facility.
Yeah, right there on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. He dropped in from the top there, and he saved us from our sins.
What song was he rocking at that time?
It was Goldfinger. I forget whichever their name.
The 007 band.
Yeah.
So Birdie's audience might appreciate this. So, like, if you look into the history of this building, the guy that was behind kind of designing it, he was obsessed with ancient cathedrals, and essentially they wanted to build this cathedral based this science building based on the acoustic frequency properties that cathedrals of the old world would be able to produce. And they actually decided that this location would be essentially the Vatican of science when they built it.
Well, so from an actual like scientific / mystic / looking into the ancient technology of these cathedrals and these acoustic energetic properties that they make within them, it's actually quite probable that when you're actually attending mass, singing and doing the hymns together in these places of worship, that you're actually connecting to this higher conscious God's frequency or connection, right? That there
Higher
might
or
actually be
lower
something to it.
consciousness.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what it's intended to be. I mean,
Right.
they say the church is like
You might actually be getting your own connected conscious to God, or like the God frequency while in there and praying, right?
right.
It's-
The church, the building itself is supposed to be the connection between our temporal existence and the heavenly realm.
Yes.
Like it's where the two meet together. Is like
Correct.
the ideology behind building such a beautiful building.
Right.
Like you're transcending existence during a
It's the
liturgy or a
reason
mass,
it took so many years to actually make. These weren't Tartarian insta buildings,
No,
like
these
all these
things
people
are
that live in
machines. They're
fucking
macro machines.
RV houses because they're so fucking retarded. They don't understand. It takes a long fucking time to actually build these things, and also it's actually possible to build these buildings without having laser lights as levels. You can actually just build these things. And the reason these people built these things was because they had a devotion to God. They had a devotion to aesthetics. They had a devotion to making things beautiful because we were the ambassadors of heaven. Like our goal on earth is to actually convert the earth into Christianity. That was the whole reason, in my opinion, that there was,
I have a quick question here. Hold on. I have a quick question here.
All right.
Go ahead.
The Sydney Opera House. Any
Oh, no,
connections? You don't know
No,
anything about
no,
it? All right.
no.
Oh, it's that thing also
No.
has just ridiculous acoustic properties, and
That
I
place
would
is awesome.
assume that it's like the next generation of them trying to use and transition that architecture and engineering into it.
Okay, I just want to get this one out because this one's super interesting to me. So there's in front of that building that I just showed there at Fermilab is an obelisk.
Not the Washington Monument.
Imagine that.
Okay, and it's a hyperbolic obelisk.
Can we get a close up on it? This is very intriguing.
Yes, so this is the hyperbolic obelisk that's located at Fermilab in front of the building. Here we go.
Dragon Ball Z fans, hyperbolic time chamber connection.
Look at what
confirmed.
So when they went to go install this obelisk, the obelisk is actually named Acqua alle Funi, which is an Italian phrase that dates back to when they allegedly raised the obelisk at St. Peter's Basilica. And then the phrase means water the ropes. So there was the story goes that when they were raising the obelisk at St. Peter's Square, that the Pope ordered that there would be complete silence in all of the area, right? All of Vatican City had to be completely quiet while they pulled off this lifting operation of the obelisk. And there's actually, if you would get the death penalty if you spoke out during this moment, because they had all kinds of crews running capstans with ropes. Let me see if I can bring this image up a little bit. So you had all these
EBT.
crews running ropes.
Quick question. Was is that a do certain people take that as the 30 minutes of silence as far as Revelation is concerned?
Some people probably do. I don't know. I never heard that.
I just, it was a random
that would
thought.
that would
I've
be
never
interesting.
heard it before either. I just, thought I'd spit it out.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's pretty interesting. So anyway, so everybody was supposed to. So this is the lore behind this. So, anyways, everybody was supposed to be quiet during the lifting of this, so the rope crews could communicate from capstan to capstan. I guess at some point the ropes were getting super tight, and there's this phrase when you're running rope around a capstan called Water the Ropes. And then you would throw water on the ropes on the capstan so that it would lubricate them and let them stretch out a little bit to prevent them from breaking, which was like a common sailing term or whatever. So they named that obelisk that they put up in front of Fermilab after this event because they see this Fermilab becoming, like I said, the actual Vatican of science. So like they have to do everything.
The new religion.
It's an ape of, like essentially creating a science ape of the church at this science laboratory. Which
It's basically recreating the moment where Abraham laid his head down on the stone. Like they're trying to create that level of a monumental place in time and space. You know, in that sort of sense of you know, in this kind of stuff.
Yeah. And like, you know, I tried to look at this for years, but the fact that it's hyperbolic too, like, is a whole different. It's a true inversion on the whole, even on the whole thing of what an obelisk is. Like, it's you know, it's like a Chinese finger trap. It's kind of, you know, so it's like
it really is. It's
this obelisk goes both ways. This obelisk goes both ways. Where the other obelisk identifies as a cis male.
There's actually made a central bridge in downtown Calgary as a giant Chinese finger trap as well. What is with that shape? Why do they want this? Why do they want a sphincter of an obelisk in a bridge?
It looks like those. It looks like those bugles. You remember bugles? Looks like
the chips.
Bugles or whatever. Yeah. Bugle chips.
Well, bugles. One half of bugles, right? If the bugle was open on both sides,
like if it was the fingers were touching, you know.
Anyways, I could talk. I have so many connections.
No, please continue. Continue.
I don't want to.
With the sun behind it was just.
Let me show you bugles though here, in case you guys don't know what we're talking about.
The important knowledge here.
These are,
by the way, promo code Bugles at Jewburger.
Right. Yes. Let me show you. Maybe you guys don't. Maybe people don't know what we would do with those as a kid, but maybe I can find.
I used to eat them, especially the ranch flavor.
Oh,
they were
put them on your fingertips and shit.
No, you ruined. You fucking ruined it. Truth and cop.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I heard other people go in other directions.
Yeah,
I had
there
to
go.
There you go.
That's what we used to do.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. That's what we used to do with them, folks.
Freddy Finger Cap Bugle Krueger.
It's demonic goyslop. Don't eat it. Okay.
You do be looking like Freddy Krueger, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, I got that so many times tonight.
Demon chips. Do not eat them. They're wizard hats.
You know, Truther Cop's like sweaters. Truther Cop's in like total camouflage. Like, yeah, turn the cam back on. This man is just.
Hey, look! I also am rocking.
What's going on with this man right here?
Merry Christmas.
BurnEye gets it. BurnEye gets it.
Merry Christmas.
These things like molding into their backgrounds and shit. Like,
yeah, let me just drop that one right there. That's the Fermilab sigil. I'm pretty sure CERN doesn't have anything as esoteric.
Is that the Mayan calendar?
It's so many things.
It's the Zodiac. It's the Zodiac killer code on there too.
I mean, what isn't on there?
Is this culture jamming, sir?
Can you do a recap of the Waffle House conspiracy for
No, they were saving it.
Is that like a very condensed version of a truther map?
Yes, sir. No, hold up.
Yeah.
No. Because one of my hashtags was #welcome to FEMA land. Okay, and that's a play on
Right.
FEMA land. Okay, so there is a Fermilab meme here that I'll have to find. But there's a map of the world that shows Fermilab.
Is that from Infogalactic? What is this website you're pulling up here?
This is from the United States Department of Energy and the Fermi Research Alliance LLC, the Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory,
we aren't leaking
managed by the U.S. Department of
exactly. Hold on, EBT, please slow down. Are you supposed to be releasing this material?
Clearly, he's reading it off of a web page, so clearly it's an open source.
Yeah, it is. It's all open source. Yeah, no, this thing is insane.
Fermilab, that must be like some sort of a government off branch that we voted to put into power.
No. It certainly isn't the exact opposite. It is corporate tyrannical authority that is compartmentalized and oppresses us to be broken away from society.
No way. This is Fermilab, dude. This is official.
Where's the black arrows?
Supposedly, it's been taken over by Mothman since what year was that, EBT?
Whenever they brought fucking Icarus Project over here, I don't remember the exact year. But I got you talk so much yourself, so I pull up these links. I guess I gotta pull up my
on Unsolved Mysteries back in the day. Or that was the New Jersey Devil. That's what I remember.
No, you know what? Hold on.
Why does it look like a long rectangle on the screen? Does it not give you a?
I'm doing too many things at once. Okay, hold on. Just stop. I'm not a professional like you, sir.
Yes, you are.
I'm not a professional.
I'll be right back. You're doing great.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up.
Get your shit together, man.
That's EBT throwing that dart right there on the screen. The Waffle House exposed, that long photo right there. He's got that dart. He's coming at us. Look out. Oh no. I'm ducking out.
Here we go.
1966 Mothman sightings in Point Pleasant, Virginia. But have you heard of the Chicago Mothman? In the late summer of 2011, the city of Chicago was rocked by a series of strange and unsettling sightings. The creature at the center of these sightings came to be known as the Chicago Mothman, and it quickly became the talk of the town. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a large winged creature with glowing red eyes and a humanoid body. The creature was said to stand around 6 feet tall with wings that spanned up to 10 feet across. It was often described as having a muscular, athletic build, and its eyes were said to emit an eerie, otherworldly glow. The first sightings of the Chicago Mothman occurred in the early hours of the morning, when a group of teenagers were walking home from a late-night movie. As they made their way down a quiet residential street, they suddenly heard a rustling in the bushes. When they turned to investigate, they were confronted by a dark, looming figure with glowing red eyes. The teenagers were terrified and ran as fast as they could, but the creature pursued them relentlessly. They reported feeling a sense of intense fear and dread as the creature chased them down the street, its wings flapping loudly behind them. Over the course of the next few weeks, more and more sightings of the Chicago Mothman were reported. The creature was seen hovering over rooftops, perched on telephone poles, and even swooping down to attack unsuspecting pedestrians. One particularly chilling account came from a young couple who were out for a late-night walk in a secluded park. As they strolled hand in hand through the dimly lit paths, they suddenly heard a strange noise coming from the trees above them. When they looked up, they saw the Chicago Mothman perched on a branch, its glowing eyes fixed on them. The creature let out an ear-piercing screech, and the couple ran for their lives, with the creature hot on their heels. As the sightings continued, rumors began to circulate about the true nature of the Chicago Mothman. Some believed it to be a harbinger of doom, a sign of impending disaster or tragedy. Others thought it was a demonic entity sent to terrorize the residents of Chicago. Despite the many eyewitness accounts, however, skeptics remained unconvinced. Some suggested that the sightings were simply the result of mass hysteria or a case of mistaken identity. They argued that the Chicago Mothman was nothing more than an ordinary bird or bat, blown out of proportion by overactive imaginations and the power of suggestion. But for those who had seen the creature up close, there was no doubt in their minds that something truly strange and otherworldly was at play. Some even claimed to have captured photographs or videos of the Chicago Mothman, though their authenticity was often called into question. As the weeks went by, the sightings of the Chicago Mothman began to taper off. Some speculated that the creature had moved on to another city or had simply disappeared into the night. But for those who had witnessed its terrifying presence, the memory of the Chicago Mothman would remain burned into their minds forever. To this day, the true identity of the Chicago Mothman remains a mystery. Some believe it to be a supernatural entity, while others chalk it up to a simple case of mistaken identity.
Okay, anyways, so let me show you some of these other pretty important images that come out of Fermilab that I think are pretty interesting for the alternative research community. This one I've always attributed to being a disclosure on mud fossils. Let me see if I can zoom in on this one a little more. This was from 1986. Let's see, go full screen. I got to do that. I got to do the scroll thing. It's going to fuck me up again. So this one was from 1986 at the Fermilab. It's called A Study on Thin Cold Air, the Physiology of High Altitudes. And then we see a man that is built into the mountains. And then we see his circulatory system becoming features within the mountains. His legs going down like to me, this screamed mud fossils to me. The first time I saw this one, it just kind of blew me away. If that's a real thing, or if it's something that they're perpetrating as a myth. I mean, if anything, that image screams mud fossils to me. That one blows me away. Another one. This one is called the Second Energy Generator. I always attributed this one to the idea of the solar simulator. So essentially, the purpose of this project was to create something as powerful as the sun in the laboratory. And I think the symbolism kind of lends towards that.
Can you explain the symbolism for that?
Well, so the lab is pictured underneath. So this is the Previtron. I don't know if can you see my pointer on the screen?
I can't. No.
No. Well, that would make
you can just tell me like what area it's pretty easy to see.
So if you look on the bottom right hand corner, you're going to see the Wilson Hall Cathedral that we talked about there. And then if you go to the left of the image, you're going to see the Trevitron, which is the main circle of the 666 that we saw on the aerial view, right?
Right.
And then
yeah.
So they called this like the energy doubler experiment. It has many other names, but so you see in the background you have the real sun that's radiating. You see the horizon, right? So we're looking at an aerial view. You see the horizon midway in the image, and then so we have the real sun, and then we have a secondary sun being created that is being created through. You can see the track, the racetrack of the facility being projected upwards.
And then that connecting line.
That is fascinating.
So this is like creating a second sun as an energy source is what this project was kind of about.
Well, in ancient writings, there was also a second sun, which was Saturn, which would rise up.
Okay.
The dark star, right?
Yeah.
And let me feed into the dark star.
Yes. So here's another image from the lab. that goes directly to what?
Jeremiah
dark-
Pop is gonna need to see this.
That's the dark sun right there.
Dark sun.
I mean, like it's
Look at the
fucking
fractal
crazy.
patterns.
Right.
It's fucking
Well,
crazy. If
so
you know these things,
as
like
far
it
as
gets-
what I can say, when it's
there's
saying
the black
like
sun.
the
That's
dark
the black
sun,
sun.
it's
coming out of
basically
Fermilab.
trying to paint everything in a
What
different light.
if
Then, if it's
they're
a
trying
different
to
sun,
trigger
right?
a dark star sun in Fermilabs? What if that's what Project
Darko
Dune is?
sun, won't you come?
Blackle sun sheet.
100%.
EBT, we pray
Here's
for your
ano-
soul
here's
that you
another
do not get
image.
sucked into the dark star.
This is another image of the lab having the ability to distort all of the reality outside of it. It's another pretty interesting one to me.
Great Chicago Fermilabs disclosure.
This
happening
was
live.
okay. This was when me and EBT were getting really fucking. It reminds me of the moments when we were getting really autistic about Flat Earth British and other people that were actually dropping legitimate documents where they were like big PDF files from different nations
Y'all
that
getting
had.
artistic on me?
What was that?
Y'all getting artistic on me?
Probably.
You get your shots? Did the shots make you artistic?
See if I can
Possibly.
get my Instagram page. I got a lot of the
That was a
cool
great
ones
South Park episode. Shout out South Park.
Anyways,
was-
that was the Fermilab moment. I guess let's get back on topic. I guess I don't know.
Yes. Because like this is, I mean, there are like all these like really good old. There was a lot of French artistic renderings, of what they thought the old world was. All these different artists, because I think there was actually a whole controversy about one of these artists. Actually, that was one of the flat Earth arguments. Was one of these.
Yeah, there's something much more to the whole Star Fort like society and buildings and infrastructure and worlds, and like it seems too advanced for what they were claiming of that time and how they destroyed it all. But it's like that doesn't equal flat Earth, I guess, is
Right. It does, and it also doesn't mean these star forts were gigantic cannonball towers either, right? That's the whole argument. These mega structures that could destroy mega beams, and there was constant warfare around all these star forts. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Like.
Beam me up, Scotty. The Star Forts take you to the stars, all right? I don't know.
I don't know. I've been studying the Napoleonic Wars the last couple of
They
weeks.
seem like they were water-based, if anything. It was a world full of canals and water and using water as analog power, and that they were hydraulically much more advanced than what we utilize
Well,
today.
I mean that yeah, exactly, 100%. But like that's like the actual like narrative. I mean, like people use waterways. They used hydraulic power provided by rivers and stuff like that, as well as windmills, as well to power machines as well. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
oh, wind power, it's this new thing. Oh, water
it's like
power,
we're
it's this new thing.
reinventing.
No, we've been doing it for thousands of years.
We're just reinventing things to make it sound cooler than what it was. But I mean, like that's like literally how you move things by water. That was the most
I'm pretty sure
efficient way to move
dynamo
stuff.
is like what you just turn DC power into, like from a water wheel or something, right?
We wouldn't even you could have just stored energy. It doesn't have to be a electrical energy. It's just the ability to turn it.
Too, right?
It's the ability to turn a shaft.
Mechanical power.
Yeah, mechanical power. It's the ability to turn a shaft. That's all. That's all electricity does now, essentially.
It's
anyways,
just all about
You're supposed
turning
to turn
that
it.
turning a
shaft,
shaft.
boys. Turning that shaft.
Turning a
ladies.
shaft. So like, it's not. Flywheel technology was probably what would have been the big. Maybe the. I filmed that Stargate that's in Indianapolis State Capitol. They have a Stargate, but maybe the Stargate was just a giant flywheel for storing mechanical power.
Maybe the Stargate was the friends we made along the way, bro.
But yeah, to think that it was like you don't need electrical power because everything essentially is just turning a fucking shaft. So I mean, it doesn't
everything is, but
Just
you
turn
needed
that
like an
shaft,
alkali
baby. Just
power.
turn that shaft.
You needed. I mean, BurnEye might be able to answer this better than myself. You need some sort of an alkali battery system to contain the energy. No.
Well, they had those.
It depends on the
charts,
saved in a
everybody?
mechanical flywheel, though.
Okay, exotic propulsion. Jeremiah's awakened in the chat. So let's go back to them Fermilab pictures of the dark star and sun for him.
No, like we're gonna save that for another stream. That was just a teaser. I was trying to get your audience to respect me, Bernie, and then maybe we could actually set up a stream where we could go
They
deeper.
do. They love you, brother. It's
no. Yeah, no, but I want to present something of interest to them because Fermilab has been one of my main.
Your fucking follow up to SEAL Team 666.
I know, right? I'm terrible at doing things.
When you are ready, I will gladly host you and have you on because you have caught my attention with these.
I like to overpromise and underdeliver. That's my MO.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
EBT way.
EBT, you got, dude. Don't undersell yourself, dude. Your SEAL Team 666, like the first episode was awesome. I didn't even catch the second one.
I haven't even made it yet. That's what he's talking about.
Oh man. Well, the first one was awesome though. You did good work there, dude. Keep that up.
I just never did it. I just never did it. But I want to show you guys.
2024 and episode
flywheels though.
Yeah, let's go on the flywheels.
I thought I figured your community probably knows about flywheels, but
oh yes, we're built
moments where you have like Robin Hood running across. There's a little stream and there's a little pinwheel, whatever.
This is an 1832 steam engine. 1832 steam engine running a flywheel.
Right. Jay Leno's got a flywheel
in his vehicle recently.
Oh no.
Really? Recently?
Yeah.
No, I just watched the last. He just did a thing on the fucking Cybertruck, dude.
It was like within the last year. Like you can look it up, Google it in the news. There are many reports of him receiving like damage, like burns to his face.
He was trying to show how a steam powered engine worked on a car.
Was that what it was?
I believe so. In the steam,
the steam engine stuff is super dangerous, and he fucks with it pretty heavily. But so if anybody that watches his YouTube, Jay Leno's Garage, which is actually a pretty fucking badass channel, but he's been cognitively declining rapidly in the last 3 years.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
when these people do these shows with them, they don't even edit him good because he'll just keep asking the same shit over and over again.
It's
he'll make
dementia.
He's suffering the Brandon effect. Let's go, Brandon.
Yep,
that's sad to see Leno going that way.
But you watch those old Jay Leno's Garage episodes, and the dude's sharp as a tack. But like, now
absolutely.
he is like he's getting bad. I don't even know why they let him drive.
That's why it sucks to see him deteriorate.
Watch him drive this thing. He's like falling asleep.
Run this like a power station.
He's a gearhead, and that's why it hurts to see him deteriorate like this.
Perception of what that is. You learn what.
Watch from this.
Well, at least he's just doing TV shows and not running the country.
This thing that's around us all the time. So
Sherlock Holmes called electricity the high priestess.
Right,
Of
yeah,
false
we got, you know,
security.
same age
The
people.
electronic, alarm system.
Right.
And
Just
people
saying.
really don't understand how TV works.
Hey.
How
No.
electricity works.
He
Insane.
really reminds me of that European dude who what's that
I mean, I
car
think
show
the
that they
interesting
run?
thing is I
Those
don't think
three
people really,
Europeans.
you know, you were talking about
Top
how fast
Gear.
your car
It's
charges
Top
on
Gear.
our chargers or
Top
superchargers.
Gear.
They
Yeah,
still
he's
don't
like
have a
that.
grasp
He
of
reminds
what
me
a
of that one
kilowatt
old
is, what a
London.
kilowatt
Oh
hour
yeah,
is.
it's
Right.
basically
we still talk in
American Top
horsepower and
Gear.
foot-pounds of torque. And it's funny when people ask me that question, I have to like do the math in my head to like convert it to horsepower because, you know, I'm always thinking about kilowatts. And then same thing with.
So let's see. Oh, here, Major
First of all,
Burn.
Jay, I'm just so happy.
I'm
to be sitting
surprised
across
he
from
didn't
you.
thank you. I'm
sideswipe
afraid I
anybody
had to
while
get
he's doing
on
this, you
fire
know,
to be on
comedians in
today's show.
cars
Thank
getting
you.
nothing
But I have to
but
say,
dementia.
Wow, dude. Wow. They really spice him up to go on the actual like
I was really.
That's a man. That is 100% a man.
oh yeah, 100% a man. But Jay is like so
Jay
much more
Leno is the
animated.
man being interviewed by me.
The country was extremely worried. I mean,
the country was.
people were like, "What happened to Jay? What happened to Jay?"
Well, people were very nice. I got wonderful cards and letters.
I love the story
Yo,
about how when your doctor was first
Very
meeting you, you were
Apple
into a voicemail. It was like,
throat
"Hey,
harder. Jesus Christ. Wearing the red and everything. This is it's basically just
What?
running him.
Oh,
Is this?
damn.
Oh my God! This is him. Yeah, yeah.
Poor
we-
Jay.
yeah.
Poor
Jay
Jay.
also spent 8 hours a day isolated in a hyperbaric chamber. The pure oxygen helped him heal.
And it's basically a glass coffin. They seal it. There are people who keep an eye on you. So I'm there, knock on the glass, and people walk by.
He's
and
the
you see
new
people talking.
Stephen Hawking.
And
He's also got miles of plastic
Is he being
surgery on his
interviewed
face.
by the Vice President, Kamala Harris there?
But and then, oh hey, what's up, Jay?
This is
he's
the
being
new
interviewed by
presidential
Kamala there.
Because it's all clear in this glass
candidate team.
coffin that's sealed.
That's sealed.
This
And
is
then
the
they're going about
team.
their lives, and
Yeah,
there you
very
are.
funny, very funny.
Were you thinking about something while
The
you were
new
in there?
Biden Kamala Harris team right there. Boom.
Jokes, you think about Iraq. You think
But
about
seriously, SNL, you should be casting that
A
duo.
week and a half after
It's
his
already
release,
done
Jay
you with
was
Jay
back
Leno
doing
and
stand-up
what's-her-face,
with a
dude.
slew
Oh
of
my God.
hot new jokes.
It worked out great. And actually, the most expensive part of the whole operation.
That literally looks like the two buffoons in the White House, but actors.
So basically, is it a stand-in or is he grafted and he's just being Frankensteined at this point?
That guy in the interview was not the same guy that does Jay Leno's garage.
Okay, that's my take as well.
Not the same guy at all. Yeah, no.
The audience in the comments, some are saying clones, that they believe it is clones at this point.
Yeah, look at how tight his face is, dude. That's
No
ridiculous.
way he got roasted on
How
his
did
face.
he?
and he's
Yeah,
looking
how
like that.
back to that horrible burn.
This video is like 30 years ago. This video.
Oh,
is
okay,
sorry.
okay. All right. Metaverse
Yeah.
time machine. That's how.
He's
All right.
going after. I just put it up because this is one of his
We are actually
episodes with
Can we
his
get a
steam.
modern-
This
can we
is
get a
steam
modern
car.
shot,
It's a
please?
steam car. It's a steam car is what he's going over.
Yeah, before he gets steamed in his face. I get it.
And the guy that he's with is like a super famous car guy for the car guys that know. So
It's click and clack over there.
Can we get a quick shot
Shut
of the modern take of Homeboy?
Who? Leno?
Yeah, Leno.
I just showed you the last one they did with the Tesla truck with the
Just
Cybertruck.
refresher because this is. And can we? I want like a guy after the interview or after the.
We're gonna go to Leno's Garage channel. You guys can see it now. Okay, we're on Leno's Garage channel. Okay, let's go videos. So the Cybertruck one was 11 days ago. Let's give it like 10 to 20 days on production, perhaps, maybe. I don't know. So, I mean, that was his most recent one. This
Right.
one's 4
We're
days
giving
ago.
him the most practical,
Touches like the Scholar only goes to 80.
Yeah, right.
The thinking being, well,
This was a Boyd
because if you
Coddington.
got stopped for speeding.
Yeah, Boyd Coddington's a big
So
customizer.
he was put
Yeah.
into like a cloning chamber, essentially this oxygen
Things,
chamber.
but there are little telltale signs.
Y'all,
But this
y'all,
is actually,
you
as your
guys have
dad
got more endurance than
did
me.
it. Hasn't
I
been
have got to
repainted.
take
No,
that.
nothing. This thing still
Be
has
well.
11,000
Bye,
original
Truth or
miles on it,
Cop.
and it's
Thank you,
exactly
thank
the
you.
way it
Truth or
was
Cop.
when my
Take
dad
care
was.
now.
Yes, sir.
And it's kind of interesting
Much
to me
respect.
because most times people go full hot rod,
Yes.
blowers and all kinds. But this is stock
Happy
drive
New
train.
Year. Truth or
I know
Cop.
it's a
Show
So my
your
dad took
face.
it as the challenge and
There you
said,
go.
"We're going to chop one and sell you one."
well.
Look,
Happy
hold on.
New
You
Year,
guys
as they
see-
say. I'm out of here.
Happy
You're
New
up.
Year, Truth or Cop.
Happy New
Everybody
Year.
sub
God
to,
bless.
sub to Truth or Cop. He's talking about some late breaking story. I don't know if you guys have heard about this thing, but there's this thing that happened on January 6th. Allegedly, some big insurrection where the government was overthrown. He's covering the events minute by minute. So go over there and follow at Truth or Cop.
True.
At official Truth or Cop or some shit like that.
You know what, Boyd? I need something to tow my
Shout out.
my dragster, but I just
Show
more
you,
sleek
show
and
Jay.
more like a car. So the
Look, poor Jay, dude. He's got the old man. He's got the old man about to die kind of look.
He's
dude.
got the old man blue jean look for show.
Yeah. He reminds me of a lot of my older uncles and shit. Now he's got that look now all of a sudden. Kind of the belt doesn't fit quite right, the jeans don't fit right. He's got to keep his hands in the pockets.
those are stock door handles that just been painted.
The guy in this
And I guess
video,
it's not-
this guy is a different guy from the guy that we just watched on that NBC video. And this should be about the same timeline, in my opinion. Not the same guy. Not the same guy at all.
He's absolutely there's skin adaptations that are added to this guy. Like he's got hair implants.
Since we're doing this live, let me pull up.
Do reptilian shapeshifters take out our celebrities in their older days to then take their inheritance potentially?
So bad.
Not a huge reason to open under the hood because unlike a lot of other hot rods, this has got some. That was all secondary. You know, it's a funny thing. One the warranty and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
EBT, you know what this needs? A live leak clip somewhere thrown in.
Did you guys see that though? That's not the same. Not the same guy.
No way.
Not the same
No
guy at all.
way.
Totally different. But to be honest, I don't know when they filmed. I mean, yeah, he obviously didn't get that much better over that time,
Right.
especially after getting caught on fire. Like, let's say they filmed that truck video a year ago before they released it.
I'm going with full New World Order, and that it's a reptilian shapeshifter has taken over his body.
Something.
That's
That's not the same guy.
inheritance.
That's not the same fucking guy.
Right. No way.
No way. It's not the same guy.
Full New World Order. It's a reptilian shapeshifter.
The guy that's doing Jay Leno Garage is probably the original prototype, I think.
It's literally Barricade Garage took over.
Yeah.
He cut his hair for this job. That's why he cut his dreads off.
There you go. Totally not the same guy, man. It's just not. I mean, I don't know. Like, nobody can do it.
Right.
It's like when people watch the ISS fucking. I'm talking to you, Illuminati. People watch the ISS fucking live feed and they'll be like, "What do you mean this is not real?"
Apparently, there was some
What do you mean
crazy
it's not real?
ISS live feed like alien shit recently, supposedly.
Yeah. Let's do some ISS comparison real quick, EBT. You got some time to do that?
Let's see what the ISS is doing right now. Why don't we?
Fuck yeah.
Can we cut to that? We're not talking about Waffle House tonight, people. In case that's why
I'm gonna be watching while I have an outdoor.
We literally already covered it
momentarily, and amazing. I'm gonna try to see if I can see that supposed ISS.
There you go. I'm gonna find the stream, the official.
Actually, EBT, while you're working on covering the ISS imagery, can you find the Viking Waffle House woman?
What?
The clip where she's blocking the chair being thrown.
Oh yeah. I got a whole playlist already.
Nice. All right. Yeah.
But I was trying not to spoil anything.
Fucking.
But we can, and I'll pull that up. I'll pull that up later. Stop directing. We're watching ISS footage right now. Illuminati, space. How could you not believe this is real? Space.
It has to be real.
I mean, look, live, high definition.
Why would you doubt this?
Live, high definition views from the International Space Station.
Oh yeah, that's space.
Space. Can you guys believe what you're seeing with your own eyes? I can't. I mean, wow. This is amazing.
Oh, you should bring up. Can you bring up the Google AI and like run AI analysis? Be like, is this real feed? And I bet you it'll be like, nope, just like it did with the moon landing.
Probably. I never gone on this and seen them pointing towards the stars. And then why can I see stars in this image? I thought you said I couldn't see stars when I'm in space.
Right.
I'm so confused about whether or not I can see stars or whether I can't see stars in space.
Which thing am I supposed to believe in?
Right. Some people say one thing, like the guys that went there say you can't see them, and
the Earth is supposed to be too bright.
Why are they
if
like
you
red
point the camera that
and then
way?
all kinds of colors now. Or are we looking down? Are we looking? Oh.
Are we looking east or are we looking west?
We're on the dark side. I'm a dumbass.
Oh,
We're on
you
the dark
fucking
side of the earth.
enslaved by
These are the Christmas
coordinates.
This is the Christmas lights right now, is what they're showing. Oh, I totally missed it. Look, yeah. It's that's my house right there with the Christmas lights. You see? Hold on, let's go back. Who's sleeping? Is it toilet?
TBE. Of course it is TBE.
Let's see. The video from the space station external high definition camera, the EHDC, has been interrupted due to either loss of signal between the station and the communications network, or it has been used for station operational purposes. The EHDC is currently being used to provide a view of the Earth following the end of life of the HDEV payload. Ooh.
Ominous.
End of life. Wow, guys. That's crazy. Right? What about the programming? They're out of line for a long time, and now it's just nighttime, I guess. Oh, here we go. Back to the daytime. Oh, it kept going out all day long.
Do you got a live video feed of the different storms going over like you used to still?
It's so hard to pull the good stuff up on NOAA anymore. But yeah, I can get that. But
that might be
they used
fun
to make
check
it so
out.
easy. I want to see some of this. It's interesting they kept going in and out all day long.
Really?
Yeah, it was just skipping through it. If you're watching the screen, I guess it's been the sensors, the camera's been going in and out through this whole live stream.
Yeah, no, I've noticed it's been checking out. I didn't understand what the reasoning behind that was, so I wasn't.
Oh, I gotta switch the guys. Yeah, here. So, yeah, it keeps going out, and they play this thing. It's saying it's at the end of its life. Something's at the HDEV. I don't know what the HDEV. That's the high definition. Something. EV
something.
So the the EHDC has been having to provide a view of the Earth because the HDV is dying, I guess, is what they're saying. I don't know what that is.
So the satellite view is failing, but the underwater camera and all the HDMI.
Well, and this is what I would have said to Illumitami if I had been able to be on the panel when they were watching this on some. They were watching this, and him and Joe Cool were trying to justify this as being real. And the thing I would have said is like, how come you don't see any satellites? Because if you the map of what's supposedly floating around in orbit, you should be seeing satellites like nonstop.
So many more than just Elon.
You can't get away from them. Like they should be.
It should be speckled. The sky should absolutely be lit up the same way as Christmas is every single day of the year. Allegedly.
Yeah, let me pull that up in case. I'm sure everybody knows what we're talking about here, but space. Maybe Illumitami doesn't know about this, but if you look at the orbit map, I mean, there's no way that the ISS doesn't pick up a shitload of satellites on a regular basis, because this is all the shit that is allegedly floating up in space on an orbit right now. and all they launched this shit once, and it just shit never fails. It was perfect the first time they sent it up, and it never has to be fixed. It never dies. It's got some kind of magic power source that we can't quite figure out yet, I guess, for humanity.
And yet all of these exist still in the sky. They've not collided once. There's not been any sort of
they maintain the
orbits
with all these things. Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
This has to be
believable.
Look, this has to be totally real. They're managing all that in real time. That's all being managed in real time.
That's stardust, basically. Anytime anybody's wishing upon a star, one of your homies like 100 miles away is probably dying because there's a fucking random satellite that is crashing onto your friend's house. And that's your belief system. This is what you're dealing with.
I mean, why does the space station never, not once do you see in this like that's supposed to be moving like 17,000 miles per hour, right? You're telling me it hasn't passed one of these yet? Get the fuck out of here. It's not real, people.
Hey, now, don't jinx me and have a satellite balloon fall on my house. I
mean, it's just not fucking real. I mean, like, this is the map of all the things floating in space, somehow controlled by everybody.
That was fucking hilarious.
By the powers
that be. They say that there's no such thing as free energy or that infinite energy, but they're able to stay up there forever somehow.
Right, and never break.
Well, but how do you
down.
justify that? How do you explain that?
Right? Isn't that a paradox in its own? Like that, hey, there's something that is perpetual motion orbiting. Like, isn't orbit perpetual motion?
Yeah, it is. It is perpetual motion. I mean, like they say that it's not, but it is. Because how are you maintaining a fall? Like, none of it makes sense.
It's all motion, or it's nothing at all. What is our construct?
Right. Yeah. If that does work, then there has to be a way to have perpetual motion machines because what is that not, right? I mean, it's not. They obviously don't have a fuel source on board that's maintaining this for what 40 years on some of these satellites have been up in orbit allegedly, like
right
40 years, and nobody's had to go refuel it or fix it, or like a relay didn't fucking burn out or something, like there's not a single thing that exists on the surface that doesn't break, but somehow these magic space boxes, they just launch them into orbit, and they just magically work all the time, no matter what, and they never have to have any repairs. It's like so unbelievable, like on
completely
its face.
unrealistic. The only thing that even comes close as a comparison that anybody could mentally compare in their mind is like in Big Sur, there is a car that actually veered off of the cliff, and it's actually impossible to recover. And it's like all of these, impossible claims these people try and make about how they believe space and time works. Like, you don't even grasp it. You don't understand how it works, and yet you're trying to reach out towards this stuff, and it's only going to lead towards your destruction.
Yeah, I mean, like the biggest
Truer
thing,
words have never been said when it comes to AI, and my God, is that a scary future possibility?
I mean, one of the big giveaways here, if Illumitami, if you're listening, so that you get triggered by this, but if you just search satellite in space, show me a real image of a satellite in space. Oh, well, you can't.
Let's pull up Elon's car going to
because they
Mars
don't
in
exist.
space.
They're all computed. They're all fucking art renderings.
It's all fake. It's literally all fake.
They don't exist.
Like, there's nothing you can find that is real.
What my challenge I've always said is, find me these people that are working on these factories that are building satellites, building rockets, all this shit. Surely they have Instagram pages. Surely they have Facebook pages. Surely they have TikToks showing off what they're doing at work, right?
Literally, more people in Uganda are doing more rocket research on the world than anywhere else in the world, because they're actually being willing to show how stupid they're just launching shit up in the stratosphere, right?
Why are all these images fake? Like, why, if this is real, if this is reality, if this is all the satellites in space, why is it so hard to find an actual?
Why are all my images 120 ID or DP, whatever the fucking term is?
Wait, here's one. There we go. Are we supposed to believe that that's? This doesn't even make sense per their math. Like,
right? No, not even close.
You're not.
How is it that curved? There's no way.
Right. Like that doesn't even match up to their math. So I mean, like, I don't know, for somebody like just like Illumitami looking at these things, like, well, it's obviously totally real. Well, it's obviously totally fake. I mean, like, cartoon pictures. It's fucking cartoons. It's fucking cartoons.
It's psyops on top of psyops.
It's cartoon.
Like, it's an entire multi-layered cake of bullshit. People try and say, "Oh, Matt QOC is the bastion of knowledge." I piss on his pissed on breadcrumbs. That's how bad his shit has gotten. Like, it's a multi-layered cake of pissed on breadcrumbs, as far as I'm concerned. It's so bad that people are trying to be woke or have any sort of profound discovery at this point. Everything's been discovered, and on top of that, we are in an age where the internet has, on every single level, proven that historically and now, Christianity is just winning. And the philosophy of all these bullshits, these fucking Manduki effects, all these weird psyops that everybody's falling for, like, if people could actually get back to a radical normieism where they actually check out from all this stuff, everybody would be better off, in my opinion. It would suck to know that everybody was collectively checking out on the internet, but I would respect all my internet friends to know that we were all collectively doing that. Because realistically, that's what everybody should be doing.
Hello, my name is Greg Hall. Today we're going to discuss the pull drop mark call-in system. This system is the only approved method for calling in, marking, and preparing food at the Waffle House. The pull drop mark call-in system is made up of 3 basic steps: the pull, the drop, and the mark.
Pull 1/4.
The pull refers to the number and type of meats to be cooked. Pull 1 bacon, for example, would instruct the grill operator to pull 3 strips of bacon from the refrigerator and place it on the grill. Notice that I said 1 bacon and not a bacon. You must always use an exact number. These numbers refer to the number of orders to be cooked and not necessarily the number of pieces of meat. While you pull 1 T-bone, when pull 1 T-bone is called, you would pull 2 pieces of pork chop when pull 1 pork chop is called, because 1 order of pork chops is actually 2 chops. How well a steak is prepared does not need to be called in at this time, unless that steak is rare or medium rare. The cooking instructions will come later in the call-in during the mark. Grill operators, go ahead and season all red meats before you move on to the next step. One final thing to remember for the pull: if you have a sausage sandwich, it must be called in sausage for a sandwich, so that the 2 patties can be pressed together to form a large sausage sandwich patty.
Drop 1 hash brown scattered.
Once a salesperson has visually verified that all the meats have been pulled to the grill or to a plate on top of the cook's board, they will say drop to specify how many scoops of hash browns to put on the grill and whether they are scattered or in the ring. Don't worry about any toppings that go into the hash browns, whether they're double or triple at this point. That will come later in the mark. If all the hash browns are in the ring, the salesperson will say drop 3 hash browns in the ring. If none of the hash browns are in the ring, they'll say drop 3 hash browns scattered. If some are in the ring and some are scattered, they'll only tell you the number that are in the ring. For example, if they need 3 hash browns and 1 is in the ring, they'll say drop 3 hash browns, 1 in the ring. The drop is also a time where the salesperson can let you know if the customer wants a hash brown scattered well or scattered light. So a salesperson may say drop 1 hash brown scattered well, and this lets you know that the customer wants their hash browns cooked well. They may also ask you to drop 1 hash brown steamed. In that case, the salesperson will bring you half full glass of ice, and you'll prepare those hash browns steamed under the dome according to the Waffle House way.
Mark Texas patty melt plate scattered, smothered, covered, and peppered.
Once a salesperson has visually confirmed that the meats have been pulled to the grill and hash browns have been dropped, they will call in the full order. This is called the mark. It is at this point that the salesperson will call all the details of the order into you, including how steaks are to be cooked, which hash browns will be doubles or triples, and also any toppings that will go into the hash browns. This is where the magic marker system begins. As the salesperson calls in the order, it is your job to begin placing markers on the plates using a special code that Waffle House has designed to help you remember exactly how everything is to be prepared. We call the system magic because our customers often do not notice the markers on the plates and think you have memorized all of the orders that were being called in. In reality, you're just using our code to mark the orders so that you can read the plates and get orders prepared quickly and accurately every time.
Texas patty melt plate, scattered, smothered, covered, and peppered.
Thank you.
Now that you've got the marks on the plates, it's time for one last step in the pull drop mark system, the callback. The salesperson will be watching you as you mark the plates and also waiting for you to call back the order to make sure you got it exactly right. Don't keep them waiting. Call back the order to them as soon as you get it marked so that they can get back to taking care of the customer and you can get back to cooking the food. Okay, now that you understand the basics of the pull drop mark system, I'll talk you through the most common marks and show you how to mark them. Waffle House is one of the world's leading server of eggs, so why don't we talk about them first? All of our egg breakfasts are automatically served with grits and white toast. A customer may choose to have a biscuit or possibly wheat, raisin, or Texas toast instead, and can also substitute hash browns, sliced tomatoes, or oatmeal for their grits. Let's start off by marking an order scramble. Simply place a right side up jelly pack vertically in the bottom position of the plate. The jelly pack represents 2 eggs, which we call an order, and the location of the plate tells us that they are scrambled. With a plate marked like this, the customer is getting an order of scrambled eggs with white toast and grits. If the customer would rather have hash browns, you simply add a few shreds of hash browns to the plate. For tomatoes, instead of grits, simply add a slice of tomato, and for oatmeal, instead of grits, simply add a napkin with a brown sugar pack on top of it. If a customer wants their grits to be served in a bowl, you would indicate that by placing a napkin on the plate, as all bowls on a plate must be served with a napkin underneath to prevent sliding. In this order, if the customer wants wheat toast, we simply flip the jelly pack over to indicate wheat. We use a pack of apple butter if the customer wants raisin toast. If the customer wants a slice of Texas toast or a biscuit instead, mark the eggs with a jelly pack and place a slice of Texas toast or a biscuit on the plate to remind you that they prefer to have Texas toast or a biscuit instead. Some folks like to have their toast unbuttered or dry. In this case, we have a special mark to remind us to hold the butter. Easily enough, it's a butter packet underneath the jelly packet like this. So what if a customer wants double toast? Easy. Mark the eggs and then put an additional jelly pack beside the egg marker to indicate the extra order of toast like this. Now that we've learned some of the basics of marking eggs, let's look at some other variables to keep in mind when marking egg orders. While most customers order 2 eggs, occasionally a customer may only want a single egg. In that case, we'll mark the egg in the appropriate position to show how the egg is cooked.
Waffle House, an American food culture icon, known for serving up hot breakfast and more across the country, 24/7, 365 days a year. World famous for their fluffy golden waffles, T-bones, and hash browns. But is there a dark side to the all-American wholesome breakfast joint? What if I told you that FEMA is directly involved with the logistics of Waffle House locations nationwide? We have all seen the videos of Waffle House fights going viral over the last few years. Is there perhaps a dark agenda behind this? What if I told you that Waffle House cooks are CIA MK Ultra trained operatives, who are literally cooking sinister, dark, occult sigil magic directly into your next all-star special? Stay tuned if you dare to learn the dark secrets of the Waffle House. All I need to know is, do you want that smothered, covered, chunked, or capped?
Here you can see that I've marked a single overnight breakfast. In other cases, the customer may be hungry and might want 3 eggs. To mark a triple, you'll mark the eggs with the jelly pack in the appropriate position and include a mustard pack below the jelly pack. Here's an example of how to mark a triple scramble. If the jelly pack indicates 2 eggs, then how might you mark the plate if the customer wants 4 eggs? That's right, you use 2 jelly packs stacked on top of each other like this. Here's the mark for 4 over medium. One of the most popular ways to have eggs at the Waffle House is scrambled. So let's talk about different ways to mark scrambled eggs. The mark for our signature scrambled eggs with cheese is simple. First, mark the eggs as scrambled, like this, and then simply add slices of cheese. It is important to remember that the customer gets 1 slice of cheese for each egg. So if the customer wants 2 eggs, they get 2 slices of cheese. To make this a triple scramble cheese, you add the mustard pack below the jelly pack to make it a triple and add a 3rd slice of cheese. You also want to tear off a small corner of the cheese and place it on the top of the marker to help you remember that it comes with cheese. If a customer wants their eggs scrambled light, so they're a little runny, mark the scrambled eggs and include an upside-down mayo pack to indicate light. And remember to remove the marker before you take the plate to the customer. Scrambled well eggs are similar, only you turn the mayo pack right side up to show that they want the scrambled eggs to be cooked well. Next, we'll look at how to mark over light, over medium, and over well eggs. An order over light is marked with the jelly pack on the left side of the plate, like this. An order over medium is logically right in the middle of the plate.
Waffle House, an American food culture icon, known for serving up hot breakfast and more across the country, 24/7, 365 days a year. World famous for their fluffy golden waffles, T-bones, and hash browns. But is there a dark side to the all-American wholesome breakfast joint? What if I told you that FEMA is directly involved with the logistics of Waffle House locations nationwide? We have all seen the videos of Waffle House fights going viral over the last few years. Is there perhaps a dark agenda behind this? What if I told you that Waffle House cooks are CIA MK Ultra trained operatives, who are literally cooking sinister, dark, occult sigil magic?
But still mark the eggs the same way as if it were on a platter. This slightly smaller plate is a visual reminder that the customer doesn't want grits. Can you guess how to mark those same over well eggs on the side? That's right, you'd use the same marker, only you'd place it on a small plate to remind you that they do not want toast or grits. Finally, if a customer wants to hold the toast, you simply place a butter knife on the plate. These rules for hold the grits, hold the toast, and on the side apply to all egg orders, including omelets. You may have asked yourself why I made sure to keep the jelly packs vertical when marking the egg breakfast. That's because if I turn the pack horizontally like this, it means that this is now the mark for an omelet. There are 4 positions on the plate to mark an omelet: ham, sausage, bacon, and plain. I'm going to show you an easy way to remember them. A horizontal pack in the number 1 position here at the top of the plate represents ham. You can remember ham is number 1 because a side order of ham comes with 1 slice. A packet here on the right side in the number 2 position is a sausage omelet. 2 sausage patties come per order, and the marker is in the number 2 position. The number 3 position is used to mark a bacon omelet. 3 strips in an order and a mark in the number 3 position. The plain position is the only one left, and it's in the number 4 position here on the left side of the plate. Examples of omelets that have a mark in the number 4 position could be omelets with no meat in them, such as cheese omelet or a mushroom omelet. These are marked using a horizontal jelly packet in the number 4 position and a piece of the corresponding ingredient. Here you can see a cheese omelet. Also, the Fiesta omelet, which is indicated by a horizontal jelly pack with a right side up salad dressing pack underneath. And a cheesesteak omelet, which is marked with a right side up ketchup packet, 2 slices of cheese, and a jelly pack in the number 4 position. Waffles are our namesake, so of course we need to learn how to mark them correctly. A regular waffle is marked using a right side up buttercup on the cook's board. To mark a pecan waffle, simply turn the buttercup over like this. Chocolate chip waffles are another favorite and are easy to mark. Simply mark a regular waffle and place a few pieces of chocolate chip on top of the marker. Sometimes a customer wants their waffle light or dark, so we need to mark them accordingly. We mark the light and the dark waffles the same way we mark the light or well scrambled eggs, using an upside down mayo pack for light and a right side up mayo pack for dark. Looking at the pack may help you remember which is light and which is dark. Notice the upside down has no text and is lighter in color. The label side looks darker because of the text on it. For those hungry customers, we offer a double waffle, which is marked by stacking the buttercups on top of each other like this. Finally, if a salesperson calls in a waffle to go, use a to-go syrup packet to remind you that it goes in a to-go plate. Now let's talk about our breakfast sandwiches. Just like omelets, these sandwiches have the same 4 positions: ham, sausage, bacon, and plain. To mark a sandwich, place 2 pickle slices in the appropriate position. Here, you can see I put 2 pickle slices in the number 3 position, which tells me this is a bacon sandwich. If I add a slice of cheese to the plate, I know this is a bacon cheese sandwich. To make this a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, I'll add this right side up mayo packet to the right side of the plate. Don't let this mayo pack confuse you. As long as you see 2 pickles on the plate, you know this is a sandwich. When marking a sandwich, this mayo pack and pickles means a sandwich with eggs. If a customer wanted the eggs on their sandwich to be scrambled instead of the standard over well egg, I'd move this mayo pack down to the bottom of the plate to show that the egg is scrambled. So how would I mark it if the customer wanted an egg and cheese sandwich? That's right. I would put 2 pickles in the plain position to show that there's no meat, add the slice of cheese, and put the mayo pack here on the right side to show the egg is cooked over well. What if the customer wants to have a sandwich on a biscuit or Texas toast? The mark remains the same, but you must include the biscuit or Texas toast to let us know the customer doesn't want it served on the standard toast. The last
Come on down to the Waffle House. A lot of us in the North, we may not have a Waffle House, but we sure do know what Waffle House is. And if you don't know a Waffle House, after this video, you are going to know exactly what Waffle House is and what you can get at Waffle House. If you like what you see, please subscribe, hit like, and the bell for noties. And without further ado, let's take down Waffle House.
Known for serving up hot breakfast and more across the country, 24/7, 365 days a year. World famous for their fluffy golden waffles, T-bones, and hash browns. But is there a dark side to the all-American wholesome breakfast joint? What if I told you that FEMA is directly involved with the logistics of Waffle House locations nationwide? We have all seen the videos of Waffle House fights going viral over the last few years. Is there perhaps a dark agenda behind this? What if I told you that Waffle House cooks are CIA MK Ultra trained operatives who are literally cooking sinister dark occult sigil magic directly into your next all-star special? Stay tuned if you dare to learn the dark secrets of the Waffle House. All I need to know is, do you want that smothered, covered, chunk, or capped?
Of the Roman colony Coliseum. It's a place where people go mainly just to throw down, it seems, and then maybe get like a waffle to celebrate either a victory or rub it in their wounds after a tough loss. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the prerequisites for being a waitress or waiter at a Waffle House is a black belt in Muay Thai. The food really is secondary to the true Waffle House experience of being able to be either a spectator in a brawl or a participant. Waffle House is a lot like my asshole. You just never know when shit's gonna pop off. And it feels like it's always just a matter of time before a fight breaks out. It's got this big reputation now as the go-to Thunderdome for giving or receiving ass whoopings.
It's just another night at a Waffle House with all hire these people for the WWE. It's just another night at a Waffle House with all hell breaking loose in the Texas Waffle House after workers yelled for this group of customers to leave. But instead, one customer climbs on the counter, one worker later throwing a coffee pot at her, things are flinging, people are falling. It evolves into an all-out punching match. Everyone else is filming on their phones and egging it on, otherwise known as a regular night at a Waffle House.
Hey, Donnie, you got an order scrambled cheese plate full of bacon and raisin toast, followed by a side order scrambled eggs and a regular waffle. We got a full of bacon, order scrambled cheese plate, raisin toast, side order scrambled eggs, and a regular waffle.
Waffle House, an American food culture icon, known for serving up hot breakfast and more across the country, 24/7, 365 days a year. World famous for their fluffy golden waffles, T-bone.
We call that sandwich deluxe. Let's say that the customer wants an egg cheese sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and grilled onions. The salesperson would call in, mark egg cheese deluxe, and you would mark it with 2 pickles in the plain position, a mayo pack to indicate the egg, and a slice of cheese, a leaf of lettuce, a slice of tomato, and a piece of diced onion. What if the customer didn't want the grilled onions on this sandwich? Easy. The salesperson would call in, mark egg cheese deluxe, hold the onion, and you would mark it the same way, except you would not put the piece of onion on the plate. Many of our customers will want to add hash browns to these sandwiches, so let's cover the basic markers for our signature Waffle House hash browns. To make an item a plate, which includes hash browns, you simply add a few shreds of hash browns on a platter with the marker. Here, I'll mark a bacon egg cheese plate. If a customer wants a single hash brown on the side, place a few shreds of hash browns on the plate. A double hash brown goes on a waffle plate, and a triple hash brown will go on a platter. If a customer wants ingredients such as onions added to the hash browns, simply add a piece of the add-on to the shreds of hash browns like this. Steamed hash browns are marked by adding a buttercup to the shreds of the hash browns, and a hash brown all the way is marked by adding a right side up dressing pack to the shred of hash browns. Now that we've covered most of our breakfast items, let's move on to our dinners and major meat sandwiches. All major meat dinners automatically come with hash browns and a piece of grilled Texas toast. Our major meat and egg dinners also automatically come with hash browns, but they include eggs and white toast. Our steak meals require a little extra work when marking because we will show how well the customer wants their steak cooked by where we place the marker on the plate. T-bone dinner medium, for instance, is marked with a right side up buttercup in the middle of the plate and a few shreds of hash browns. How well the steak is cooked increases the further up the plate you go. So the bottom of the plate is rare, then up to medium rare, medium, medium well, and finally well done. You don't have to worry about positioning for chicken, pork chop, and country ham, as these are always
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.